Okay, welcome back to episode 4 of How to LeetCode. I already said episode 4, I don't know what I'm saying. But today we're going to be solving valid parentheses, LeetCode 20. So, in this problem, given a string s containing just the characters of, they're basically parentheses, curly brace, and regular bracket. And what we want to do is determine if this string input is in the correct order. So basically, if you have an open brace, we're going to see a closing brace and then match it. So in our first example, um, this is good. This is a valid input. This is also a valid input because all of them match, right? So you can see this one matches this one matches this one, this one matches this one. And this one, we could quickly go ahead and say that, okay, that's gonna happen false. But there is some edge cases, and then when we look into the problem, we're gonna quickly see that we're going to have to account for these nested braces. So you see how this inner one matches, and then this one matches this one, boom. And this one, I don't know what is going on here. Like this one matches this one, but then this one matches this one, but the inner ones don't match. So this would have to match this not this parentheses, it would have to be the brace, the bracket. So how are we gonna do this? I'm sure all of you guys know what a stack is. That's gonna be a first in, first out data structure where you think of it as a stack of papers, right? What we're trying to do here is the first thing that goes in. We could do these quickly operations where we pop the stack, manipulate it, see something, take it, and then we can continuously check to see that what our current status is with the depending on which character we come up to. That was a whole lot of mumbo jumbo, but what are we gonna do, guys? We're going to draw this out and quickly go to paint. So we have our stack, and this can just be declared like this. And then we also have our string. Let's say it's equal to just the first example, right? Easy. These are parentheses. Let me draw this back. What we're gonna have to do first of all is we know that we need to iterate through the string somehow. That's a given. We have to go through the string, check. Your first intuition would be like, do we have to actually append every character onto the stack? Well, no. What we're going to be doing is when we see a open brace, we're going to append that onto our stack like this. And as we iterate through the string, we could pop this onto, or sorry, we could push this onto the stack. And then when we see move through to this character, now we're on this character. And that is valid. That is a valid string because it's opening and closing. So what we can end up doing is saying, hey, while there is this one, we check if this one matches, if the stack is not empty and then it has a character that we want, we're gonna check this character to see that if it matches this character, right? And we don't actually need to push any of the closing braces onto the stack. We're just going to see if the current, if the most recent element pushed onto our stack, if that matches the closing brace, you go ahead and take that pair and eliminate. And this brings me to my next point where, since we're dealing with pairs, right? This is basically the main idea of the solution. If we're dealing with pairs, one thing that we could quickly change is, let's go ahead and check this real quick. If the string input that we're working with, if that string input is an what I was gonna say uneven, if it's an odd number, it can never actually match because there will always be one opening brace that doesn't match a pair. So we can instantly check that right away. If the length of S use modulus, if this is not equal to 0, we can immediately return false, because this will always be an invalid string. Always be an invalid string input. This is not a valid parentheses. And let's just go ahead and start solving the problem. Our stack, initialize it. And again, guys, we're going to be iterating through the list. So for character in S, for each character in this S, we want to check if this character is one of these opening braces. So the curly and then that bracket. If it's in this, if it's an opening brace, what do we want to do, right? We said that we want to append or push this character onto the stack. And now we can start to quickly check if this character is equal to a closing brace. The first one is this, right? If it's equal to a closing brace and our stack has an item, it's non-empty, and the most recent element is equal to the same thing, so this is a matching pair, right? Go ahead and comment this. This is going to be a matching pair because, boom, that's good. -1 when accessing a list is basically accessing the most recent, the last element. That's how you check the, for example, if we were to have a list like this, basically -1 here, the index of -1 would return 2. You're going backwards. And then what do we want to do for here? We can just pop it from our stack because we know that we've checked that pair matches. Boom, we're all good to go. And essentially, how many types of braces do we have again? We have, I did not want to copy this over here, but whatever. We have this one, and we have this one, and we have the, let me see, where is it on my keyboard? This is unbelievable. I'm having a brain fart. Oh, right here. So, 3 types of braces. We're looking to match pushing the opening brace. Every time we see an opening brace, we push it to the stack. And if the most recent character matches that one, we can go ahead and remove that pair and then just pop it. Right? Simple enough. If we have to finish our conditional, right? So if anything else happens and this doesn't, get accessed, we can go ahead and you want to return false. And at this point, that is basically the solution. So we have one base case over here, and then we're iterating through the string. If we see an open brace, we push it to push the char to our initialized stack. And if we see a closing brace, if the current brace is equal to whatever one of these cases are, you could do it with switch statements, but like this is more simple. And the stack is has a value, and the stack, the most recent one, matches it. Boom. I've said it sound like a broken record, just to get the idea really through into our head. And again, at the end, our stack should be what? At the end, our stack should be empty, right? Because if there was a mismatch, right? Let's say we get into, like, let's say we already have a check for it, right? But let's say there's still a missing brace that hasn't been closed yet. So then we know that input is invalid. Return, what does it say here? determine if the input string is valid. It's a Boolean, right? So return not stack. Because if our stack is empty, we want to return true. Otherwise, we want to return false. So if our stack is empty, we want to return true. Otherwise, we are going to be returning false. And that's literally it. Pretty simple problem. Again, this is LeetCode easy. And it's one of those where it's just checking your knowledge of push and pop operation, classic base case, and then checking to see how you guys deal with the only tricky thing about this was probably like the nested, because we're not actually pushing the closing brace to the stack. We're only pushing again, I said it, we're only pushing the opening brace. And let's run it. Runtime error. A leaf, what is this? And not stack equal, and stack of was equal to, what's the error? Invalid syntax. A leaf. Oh, am I missing? Oh, missing character. Let me just get rid of that real quick. Get rid of these comments. Character. Yeah. Checking if the character is equal to. Alright. So that should fix it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like we're all good to go. Submit. Boom. There we go. There we have it. And that is how to solve valid parentheses. Hope this was helpful. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one. Have a beautiful day. This is kind of a quick one.